Buongiorno studenti! Today we're going to learn 10 different ways to say you are welcome in Italian and how to use each one of them appropriately depending on the situation. So make sure to watch this video till the end because I've arranged all these different ways in order of increasing feelings. So we're going to go from the most basic to the most heartfelt ways to say you are welcome in Italian so that you're going to sound authentically and correctly Italian when you use them. Also, don't forget to let me know qual è il tuo preferito. Which is your favorite way to say you are welcome in Italian? Leave me a comment with your choice below the video at the end of the video. Ok, iniziamo. The first way, the standard way to say you're welcome in Italian is prego. Prego. Now, this is the standard one. If you look up how to say you're welcome in Italian, this is the one that's going to come out. Prego. But honestly, prego may sound a little bit detached, a little bit basic. So personally, I would use prego only for a casual interaction with a total stranger. Like, for example, if I'm in the street and someone lets me pass and I tell them grazie, and they're probably going to reply prego, because that's what it is. Prego is perfectly correct, but a little bit formal, detached. So we use this for this kind of interactions mostly. Ok, numero due, second one, number two. That is di nulla. Di nulla. Now, di nulla literally means of nothing. Di, of, and nulla, nothing. So it's the Italian way of saying, one Italian way of saying, it's nothing. So this has a little bit, un po' more feeling than prego. When would I use this? Well, for example, maybe you are lining up at the supermarket and you only carry one item and the person before you lets you pass and you say, let's suppose that person is me, you say grazie, I would reply di nulla. So it's still an interaction between strangers, but maybe the other person wants to show a little bit more feeling. Then they would probably use di nulla. Va bene? Perfetto. Numero tre. Numero tre is di niente. Di niente. And di niente means it's nothing. I know, this is one of those cases where in Italian you have multiple ways of saying exactly the same thing. This happens a lot in Italian, so that's what it is. Niente means nothing. Nulla means nothing. They are synonyms. So di nulla and di niente are absolutely equivalent. They are just two slightly different words to say the same thing. So if you say di nulla or if you say di niente, they both mean it's nothing. And I would use di niente exactly like di nulla. There's no difference in the usage. Okay, let's move on with numero quattro, number 4. And that's a little bit more complex and both in the phrasing, so both in the way we say this and in the usage. So we're increasing the level of feeling, as I was telling you. This one is non c'è di che. Let me type this for you. Non c'è di che. Now, non c'è di che, if you look it up, it means it's nothing. So it's another way of saying it's nothing, but it's not exactly the same as di nulla and di niente. So that's my goal, to show you the difference, to make you understand the difference, the subtleties in the language. So non c'è di che literally means there isn't, non c'è, di of, che, what. Doesn't make any sense, I know. That's the literal translation. The meaning is it's nothing, but there's a little bit more feeling in non c'è di che than in di nulla or di niente. So this is still a bit formal. I probably wouldn't use this with family and friends, but probably I could use this, for example, with colleagues. So not total strangers, not family members, somewhere in between where I want to show a little bit more feeling when replying, you're welcome. Per esempio, let's suppose you gave a colleague a ride in your car. In Italian we call that un passaggio. Un passaggio. So you gave them a ride and they tell you grazie per il passaggio. How would you reply? Personally, I would tell them non c'è di che. Non c'è di che. So I'm telling you it's nothing, but I'm not using di nulla and di niente, which may sound a little bit detached or prego. I use non c'è di che. It's nothing. Va bene? Perfetto. Ok, andiamo avanti. Let's move on. Numero 5. And numero 5 is figurati. Figurati. Now, if you look this up or if you look at this closely, it does look like go figure in English, but that's not the meaning. Figurati is the equivalent of don't mention it in English. So as you can see, we're increasing the level of feelings in our reply, in our you're welcome in Italian. So figurati is definitely more heartfelt. If you use figurati, that means that you really want to assure the other person that what you did for them didn't bother you. So this is when I would use figurati. So in the same situation as in the previous example, like you're giving someone a ride, let's suppose that person is a friend of yours or a family member, and they tell you grazie per il passaggio. Thank you for the ride. You can reply to them, I will reply to them if they were family or friends, ma figurati. But don't even mention it. Don't mention it. Ma figurati. Va bene? So figurati definitely has more feeling than all the previous ones. Now, something important I want you to notice is that figurati is informal. Figurati uses ti, tu, so it's the informal you. So never use figurati with someone with whom you would use lei, the formal you. So what can you do if you want to show a little bit more of feeling when replying you are welcome to someone you have a little bit more of a formal relationship with, or maybe it's not appropriate to use to with them, like an older person, someone you are not familiar with. What can you do? Well, you can use this expression, but you need to change it slightly to make it formal. So the formal version of figurati, which is the sixth way of saying you're welcome in Italian, numero 6, is si figuri. Si figuri. So please notice this. Figurati and si figuri are the same expression. They are used the same way. The only difference is that figurati is informal. Remember, ti, tu, informal. Si figuri is the formal version that you would use with someone you use lei, formal you, with. Va bene? Perfetto. Now, I know we have gone through a lot already, so remember that if you want to review all these different ways in their application, you can easily review them with the PDF that I have prepared for you for this lesson, and you can download it with the link in the description below. Va bene? Ok, andiamo avanti. Let's move on. Seventh way of saying you are welcome in Italian. Numero 7. Ok, numero 7 is ci mancherebbe. Okay, I'm going to type this out too, and I'm going to take a little bit more space. As I told you, we're increasing feelings, but we're also increasing complexity, of course. So, ci mancherebbe. Now, this one is definitely an untranslatable one. So this has to do with the verb mancare, which in Italian means usually to miss. But this is a phrase that has a specific meaning. So ci mancherebbe is the Italian way of saying, of course. I know, in English it's of course, in Italian it's ci mancherebbe. Ci mancherebbe, but it's very much used in everyday conversation in Italian. So what's the characteristic of ci mancherebbe? This shows more feeling than the previous ones and can be used both in formal and informal situations. So it's like you're telling someone, of course I'm doing this for you. Ci mancherebbe, ci mancherebbe. So for example, someone thanks you for coming to them. Maybe you went to their party or you went to them when they called you. So you want to really tell them that it wasn't a problem for you. You really wanted to do this for them. So they tell you, for example, grazie per essere venuto. Thank you for coming. Grazie per essere venuto. And you tell them, ci mancherebbe. Ci mancherebbe. Of course I'm doing this for you. Va bene? So this is how we use ci mancherebbe, and remember you can use this both with a person you use tu with and a person you use lei with. It's the same, does not change. Ok, numero 8. Let's go one step up with feelings, and that's how to say don't even mention it in Italian. In Italian that is non dirlo nemmeno. Non dirlo nemmeno. So literally it means don't even say it. Non dirlo nemmeno. And that's the exact equivalent of don't even mention it in Italian. This is definitely one of the most hurtful ways of saying you're welcome in Italian. I would use these for friends or people who are important to you. And you want to show them that, to tell them that really you did this something for them because you felt like doing it for them. Now, non dirlo nemmeno, so means don't even mention it, and it is informal. That's something I want to point out. This is an expression that has two forms depending if you're using it with a person you use tu with or a person you use lei with. So if you're using tu with the other person, you can use this, non dirlo nemmeno. But I want to give you the alternative, which is the formal alternative, which is non lo dica nemmeno. Now, I know this is harder. Non lo dica nemmeno. These are exactly the same expression, but in two forms. Informal, non dirlo nemmeno, to be used with tu, and formal, non lo dica nemmeno, to be used with lei. Va bene? Okay, so we are at the last way of saying you are welcome in Italian. This is number 10, numero 10, and this is the most heartfelt of them all, which is è stato un piacere. Let's spell this out. È stato un piacere. This means it was a pleasure. È stato un piacere. This, thank God, works both formally and informally, so you can use this in any situation. You don't need to change this at all. It's definitely the most hurtful of them all, and this means that you really want to tell somebody that you are very happy that you did something for them. Now, a quick trick to sound authentically Italian is that you cannot combine these with other ones. So this is often combined with the previous ones. For example, one phrase I would probably use is non dirlo nemmeno, don't even mention it, è stato un piacere. It was a pleasure. So let me show you both of them. So I would probably use this one with this one in combination. Non dirlo nemmeno, è stato un piacere. Okay, ragazzi, that's all for today. We saw 10 different ways to say you are welcome in Italian. And if you like this kind of video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, I have other videos where I cover ways of saying thank you in Italian, hello in Italian, goodbye in Italian, and other Italian phrases for conversation. So if you like these kind of videos, keep in mind that I have more and I'm going to list them in the description below. Also, don't forget to let me know, qual è il tuo preferito? Which one is your favorite way of saying you are welcome in Italian? Leave me a comment below the video. Ok, è tutto per oggi. It's all for today. Ciao da Valentina.